This week in Jamaica Now, war of words between the PNP and the JLP as political temperature rises. Why Mr. Vegas issued an apology. Outrage as a 14-year-old girl dies after being sexually assaulted at home. And Scotiabank confirms that some of its customers have been hit by scammers. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. Two of Jamaica's leading anti-corruption agencies have confirmed that no formal investigation is underway into allegations of misused taxpayer funds at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC. Communications Director at the Major Organised Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, Major Basil Jarrett, told the Gleaner that the entity is assessing a complaint to determine whether an investigation should be launched. Meanwhile, the Financial Investigations Division, which probes financial crimes, said it has not received a referral to conduct or support an investigation in relation to the KSAMC. The agency's statements come amid political controversy after media reports implicated senior PNP members in the alleged misuse of KSAMC funds for their election campaign. The JLP has accused members of the opposition PNP of using public funds from the KSAMC to run its election campaign, including those of its caretaker candidates. On Thursday, Marlon Morgan, a senior member of the JLP communications team, called for the Auditor General to investigate all municipal corporations controlled by the PNP.
The Jamaica Labour Party also notes that the PNP KSAMC corruption scandal has been in the public domain for almost a week now, with supporting screenshots of WhatsApp messages and voice notes readily accessible. However, to date, we are not aware of any statement issued by our usually vocal and vociferous civil society groups, which of course profess and assert that they are non-partisan and that they are vanguards, essentially watchdogs on matters concerning integrity, corruption, accountability in public office, and of course, lawful use of taxpayers' money. We trust that our usually vocal civil society groups will find their voice and address the sordid and scandalous PNP KSAMC corruption scandal as a means of reassuring the onlooking public and, of course, promoting and upholding accountability in the use of public funds and by those who preside over public funds.
And the PNP says it will take legal action to put a stop to what it says is a smear campaign against it by the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. In a statement, PNP Chairman Dr. Angela Brown-Burke has urged persons with evidence to present it to law enforcement.
We have full confidence in our General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, and the Mayor of Kingston, His Worship, Councillor Andrew Swaby, who have been unjustly targeted. These malicious and politically motivated accusations without a shred of credible evidence are nothing more than a cowardly attempt to deflect attention from the JLP's governance failures and corruption scandals. The PNP challenges the JLP and its operatives. If you possess any legitimate evidence, submit it to law enforcement authorities. Otherwise, cease these defamatory attacks immediately. We also call on law enforcement agencies to clarify whether any investigation is indeed underway. If such an investigation exists, those involved should be informed through due process rather than being subjected to the JLP's political theatres.
And dancehall artist Clifford Mr. Vegas Smith was given 48 hours on Tuesday to apologize to Dr. Dayton Campbell and enter settlement discussions for damages after making allegedly damaging social media posts. Mr. Campbell's attorney, Sheena Stubbs Gibson, described Mr. Smith's preemptive apology on Monday as unacceptable. Mr. Smith had also removed some posts from his X account. In the pre-action letter served on Tuesday, Mr. Campbell demanded that Mr. Smith retract false, defamatory and malicious comments. Mrs. Stubbs Gibson said failure to comply within 48 hours will result in legal proceedings. In the apology posted on Monday, Mr. Vegas said he made comments about Dr. Campbell without facts. The government's legal advisors have confirmed that the JLP's Joel Williams rightfully holds the position of Mayor of May Pen and Chairman of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. This comes after PNP councillors have insisted that they should elect a new mayor since the party won a by-election last year to tie the division count with the JLP and the popular vote. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie gave the update on Wednesday.
Where there is a tie in the political representation following a by-election, the person who occupies the chair as chairperson before the by-election remains as the chairperson after the by-election. Additionally, Clause 19 of the Act states that the tenure of the chairperson of a municipal corporation lasts from one local government election to the next. The only way in which that chairperson can be removed between island-wide local government election is if a no-confident motion supported by the majority of all councillors in the municipality no sooner than 12 months after the date of the last local government election. So what the law is saying, that the mayor cannot be removed from office until 12 months after the date of the election. So the elections that was held, the mayor still occupies that position, and it means therefore that the action taken to remove any sitting mayor before February 26, 2025, if there's a no confidence motion, and this is the point, if there's a no confident motion, and that motion has to come 1 year after.
A 14-year-old girl has tragically died after being sexually assaulted and severely injured in an attack at her home in Palm Grove Court in St. Andrew on Thursday. The police say the attacker, believed to be of unsound mind, entered the apartment and assaulted the girl before fleeing. A relative intervened but was also injured. St. Andrew Southwestern MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke expressed outrage and called for swift justice and increased mental health support to prevent such tragedies. Rasheim Shem Brown, a reputed gang leader deported to Jamaica last week, has been charged in connection with a deadly 2023 shooting. The 33-year-old, believed to be the enforcer for the Golden Heights gang, has been charged with murder, wounding with intent, ammunition possession and using a firearm to commit a felony. Mr. Brown is accused of killing 55-year-old Mark McKenzie and injuring his two sons during a gang-related home invasion in Kingston. The police linked the brutal attack to ongoing gang violence in Western Kingston. A 49-year-old St. Thomas farmer, Cecil Grabba Stewart, has been charged with the murder of 28-year-old Roshni Bonfield, whose body was found in a gully on January 27. Mr. Stewart, who reportedly confessed to the crime, turned himself in with his attorney. He reportedly helped search for the woman's body. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has directed Jamaica Customs to fully implement port scanners to combat illegal gun imports. Speaking at the National Security Council seminar on Thursday, Mr. Holness emphasized the need to strengthen border security and called for a regional and international effort to combat gang violence. He highlighted investments in maritime security and announced plans for increased scanning capabilities at all major ports. One of Jamaica's largest private medical labs, Biomedical Caledonia Medical Laboratory, confirmed this week that it had a data breach last year in November. The incident likely impacts thousands of patients. The lab says hackers gained unauthorized access through an external vendor. The lab says it is investigating the extent of the breach and has implemented enhanced security measures. And the National Security Operations Centre says it is investigating reports that some Scotiabank customers' debit and credit cards have been compromised. The centre is part of the Cyber Incident Response Team division in the Office of the Prime Minister. On Thursday, it said cyber thieves are using the cards to set up Google Pay and Google Play accounts and make small purchases. Meanwhile, in a statement on Friday, Scotiabank said there was a recent fraud attempt affecting some debit card holders. However, the bank says it is not widespread, not related to credit cards and not directly related to Google Play or Pay. Culture and Gender Minister Olivia Babs-Grange has expressed sadness at the passing of Dr. Velma Pollard, a renowned poet and retired University of the West Indies lecturer. Dr. Pollard died on February 1. Ms. Grange hailed Dr. Pollard's contribution to Jamaican culture, particularly her work on the Patois Bible and her role in preserving Jamaican language and heritage through literature. And long-serving Hanover Custos and respected medical doctor, Dr. David Stair, has died. He was found on Wednesday unresponsive in the bathroom of his Pond Peace home. Concerned co-workers went to check on him after he failed to report to work. Foul play is not suspected. He had struggled with heart disease. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on a notification, and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson, and before we go, highlights from the funeral of veteran journalist Barbara Gale, who was buried on February 2.